Hi friends, I just wanted to check in with everyone. I feel like I've come full circle from initially deciding to create a YouTube channel to talk about my spirituality, my spiritual beliefs, and just really network with others. And then deciding to move from YouTube to TikTok, where I did create a lot of content, but it's very different on TikTok than it is on YouTube. I really feel like YouTube is definitely more my pace. So that being said, I just wanted to share a story. So I am on the path of Ayurveda. Ayurveda in particular is so involved. It's such an old practice and it's so wise and so natural, and it caters to the individual physiology for each human being. It's not a blanket, and it's not all herbal medicine either. So depending on your physiology, this particular herbal formulation may or may not work for you specifically. It's very different than what you find in Western medicine. Although I do learn, I'm in university right now, and I do learn from American doctors as well as Indian doctors that we call Vaijas. So I'm telling you this because on the Ayurvedic path, it is an Ayurvedic belief that you don't do anything that takes you away from your present consciousness. So anything like alcohol, drugs, even if it's for a spiritual purpose, it's just not promoted in Ayurveda, and it's frowned upon, really. I have been on the Ayurvedic path for about 2 years now, and that's about the time that I have abstained from anything. Although I did have an exception yesterday that I wanted to share because it was actually really insightful and not something I was prepared for. And definitely not something that I'm looking for or will go after again, because I still have very strong belief and faith in the Ayurvedic principles that I do not have the intention to stray from this path. However, I also work as a real estate agent, and I was showing houses to some clients that are actually really good friends of mine that I've known for years, that I'm close with and can talk about, certain things with. As we're on our tour of seeing homes, my client asked me if I wanted to partake in a gummy. So without even thinking twice, I said yes. And I knew that even if I did take this gummy, I wasn't going to take the whole thing. It was just going to be a third of it. And it actually ended up being less than half of a third. So that's how strong this gummy was. So I took this gummy, a couple hours went by, nothing. I was like, cool, I guess I'm in the clear. On the drive home, stuck in traffic, and then I start to feel a little funny. And I realized, oh, the gummy is hitting me. And it lasted about 2 hours. And, everything that you would expect to come from a cannabis gummy is what happened to me in my physiology. But what I did want to talk about with this, I understand why people do partake in gummies or ayahuasca or DMT or, all of mushrooms. You can take mushrooms for a purpose not relating to spirituality, just for fun, just to get high, right? So I also feel like it's not really necessary to take these substances to be spiritual, but some people do that. And I think that to each their own. For me, especially now in the Ayurvedic path, it's like we have meditation, we have transcendental meditation, and actually that has propelled me in ways I can't even begin to tell you. I should probably do a video on just that. But anyway, I did want to say that there was an inkling of something from feeling the effects of the cannabis. It was sativa, which is not my favorite. I don't normally take sativa cannabis gummies. I like indica. That's definitely more my vibe. So this was very mentally involved. I'm just going to share the insight I got. I've been going through a very difficult time, oftentimes feeling alone. I do have friends. I do have some family that I can come to, that I can share time and space with, that actually heal me. And I'm so fucking grateful for those friendships, those women that have lifted me, the friends and family, not just women, but like my dad, like, people that have been there for me in the last year and a half, that has been like the hardest year of my life. And I'm freshly separated from my son's father. And I thought, oh, now I can breathe, now it'll be easier, but it's actually harder. It's actually harder going through. I feel like when I was, not to say anything bad about my son's father, he's an amazing dad, and he's somewhat still supportive of me in some ways. However, because we were so different and my physiology reacted a certain way to his actions and things, I felt like I was surviving fight or flight when I lived with him. So I was looking forward to living on my own so that I can heal. Now I'm surviving the healing process, which is a whole nother animal, but I'm surviving and I'm grateful for that. So yesterday I had the insight that because of this heavy weight that has been on me by choice, like a ball and chain, I got the insight that it was a choice for me to somehow hold on to these dark and deep feelings because for some reason I felt like I needed to be validated by someone specifically, to be like, I'm sorry that I did this to you. I'm sorry that I didn't see you for who you were in this relationship. Several people that failed me, I feel, in like tremendous ways. It's like I have been holding on to this ball and chain of like wanting that validation, wanting that redemption from them. And I realized that it's been a choice. Like this gummy gave me the insight that it's been a choice. Like I was able to pull myself out of the current and habitual physiological makeup every day to where I was like, oh, I don't have to hold on to this. It doesn't make me a martyr to hold on to this weight. Like it's slowing me down. And the reason that I was able to see it this way is because in this insight that came to me, I also saw a realm of possibility. Imagine walking into a room with static. The whole room is just filled with a cloud of static electricity, and you walk in and you can feel the goosebumps on your skin, and you can kind of feel the potentiality, this electricity, right? And so it was shown to me that this realm of possibility exists for all of us, but it's adjacent to the reality that we are in. And a lot of times we're so focused on the 3D of where we are and just believing that that's it and that's all there is. When in actuality, we could just turn our head and acknowledge that where we live in the cosmos, where we live dimensionally, is actually the unified field of consciousness. This is what we call it in Ayurveda. And we have the ability to be there, to get there, to manifest from there, to have that potentiality exist and manifest into a life that we want. And if we're walking around with a ball and chain, that is definitely not something that we're going to see. So it was interesting to get this insight because I have been walking around with this ball and chain as if it was going to do me some kind of favors. And I think a lot of us do that. We just kind of put our heads down and go to work and do the work we have to do to survive in the matrix. But we forget the energy that we exist in. There is a level of excitement and joy. It's like this sexy, sort of mischievous quality. Like I think Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote the book Big Magic, put it best when she said trickster energy. So trickster energy is just this energy that you're playing with life. To me, in this insight, what it felt like was that energy that you feel before the first day of school when you're like super excited and you're thinking like, what's the year ahead going to hold for me? Am I going to get a boyfriend? Am I going to be cool? Am I going to, who am I going to hang out with? Like, what new possibilities are accessible to me? In this insight, I also found that feeling to be a feeling of like borderline adrenaline, like that feeling of like when you're a little kid in the schoolyard and you're like, I'll race you to the fence, and you just run as fast as you can. It's that feeling of like excitement, of confidence, of joy, of a little bit of adrenaline. So that feeling, similar like energetic makeup of the field of possibilities, that's the insight that was given to me. Take it with a grain of salt, right? We all have different beliefs, but I came out of that experience with this insight and it lifted me. I just feel like a new perspective, a fresh new perspective that I wouldn't have otherwise gotten. So even though it's not my style, I don't know, maybe the universe put that in my path for some reason. What I was trying to hone in on, and I just want to like bring it on home, just make sure that I get the idea across. If you're in the energy of excitement and joy and confidence and all of that, that's where we need to be to attract more of that feeling. That's where we need to be. We need to be in that energy in order to align with exciting new possibilities. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Easter. I celebrated Ostara with some beautiful women. You can see the videos on my shorts page on this channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.